say welcome to the Professor of Social Entrepreneurship at Roskilde University, Lars Hulgård. Hi, Lars.
Hi, and thank you for your welcome, Beata.
So tell us briefly about social entrepreneurship as a research field. What's the most interesting development in your perspective?
I think the most interesting development is actually the speed with which it has developed. No one spoke about it, 20, 25 years ago. And from a scholarly point of view, this is a very fast development. Usually when new things, new issues appear, new activities, maybe even new organizational forms, they tend to disappear again somehow and give way to other forms. But this one, social entrepreneurship, has kept very resilient throughout these last 20, 25 years since it appeared initially as a research field.
So why has the field attracted so much attention and so much interest?
Due to multiple crises, I would say that's one important background for it. In the European Union, at the level of the UN, this multiple crisis has really been considered so influential on our societies that all corners of contemporary society needs to be engaged in addressing these problems of the aging of the population, which is a global thing, problems and challenges with integration of marginalized citizens, problems of climate change, the financial crisis, now also followed by the pandemic. So it's somehow like whereas a crisis earlier came and disappeared, the feeling is that the challenges, societal challenges, are so big and cross-cutting that action of all spheres of society needs to be taken into account. Mm-hmm. There was a wonderful report by the BPA, Bureau of European Policy Advisors, a few years ago, who exactly articulated social entrepreneurship and social innovation with respect to all these crises coming together.
So what's needed for social enterprises and social startups to have more impact and support and enable more sustainable development in every sector of business and society, would you say?
There's one concept that politicians like to use, which is ecosystem. We need to build an ecosystem for social enterprise, for social entrepreneurs. But there's a lack of investment in such an ecosystem. An ecosystem means that social enterprises and social entrepreneurs have access to markets, to places where they can sell their products and services. This access is limited because the products and services offered by social enterprises is different from conventional enterprises. So if you want production for social cohesion, for sustainability, you need to invest in exactly that type of production, which is very much the case for social entrepreneurs. Mm. So a lack of real commitment from policies, but also from financial institutions is required.
So financing and also developing the demand, what else is needed?
Education is needed. But we actually do have education because many universities and colleges develop programs for social entrepreneurs.
What kind of competence would you like these programs to offer? What kind of knowledge, understanding, insights are we still lacking, would you say?
I think we lack an understanding of the economy and the economic system to be something broader than the conventional focus of the market. You know, social entrepreneurs themselves, they are almost only proud when they can say, I've succeeded on the market. But economy is so much more. Reciprocity is a resource.
So the roles and responsibilities that one can take in this broader ecosystem, that's where we need to raise awareness.
Absolutely. And you know, the legal, for instance, for those countries that are members of the European Union, the legal model is already existing, the legal framework, because for municipalities, for instance, when they want to purchase services locally from enterprises, they are allowed to make social claims, but they don't use that enough. So they are allowed to say, no, we want to negotiate mainly with social enterprises, but this procedure is not used enough, although it could be used.
Could we talk about social enterprises and social startups across Europe as a sector? Is that something that would enable us to address the challenges more broadly and at larger scale?
Social enterprises, I would rather say, is a subsector of the third sector. And the third sector is the sector different from the private enterprises and the public sector. You know, the third sector is not for profit, although it can be on a market, but it's not on a market to gain profit. It's on a market to do good, to do better, to solve problems. It's not public, it's private, so it's a third sector. Within that third sector, we have social enterprises as a subsector. Social entrepreneurship is a bit different, because actually you can use the tools of a social entrepreneur also in the private sector or in the public sector. But as soon as a social entrepreneur registers a social enterprise or set up a social enterprise, then it starts to belong more to the third sector. But I wouldn't say that we have a particular sector consisting of social enterprises. No.
Are we going there?
In some ways, I don't hope so. And now I'm speaking more from a value point of view, a concerned citizen point of view, because I think it's good for social entrepreneurship somehow to keep a link to the civil society. The civil society being a watchdog to the way private enterprises function, to the way the public sector functions. If social enterprises become a business model, a business sector, it loses this anchor, this being a watchdog, this interest in ensuring social justice.
And challenging all norms and kind of looking at new ways for solving problems. If we look at opportunities going forward, both from a societal perspective and then from the perspective of the entrepreneurs, what would you say are the main opportunities from a societal perspective with growing the impact of these companies and organizations?
The main opportunities probably would be the face of the multiple crises. You know, we often say that a crisis is also a period of time to change, to try new ways. And if social entrepreneurship is about innovation, about creative individuals, seeing opportunities where other people see barriers, then this is a good situation to make new combinations. The father of entrepreneurship theory, what we used to call him the father of entrepreneurship theory, Joseph Schumpeter, he says that an innovation consists of already existing material that is combined in new ways. So in a situation of crisis is also a situation to reallocate. And I particularly think that it should be more the interest of social entrepreneurs to engage in climate change, engage in new ways of food production which are more sustainable, in creating new links between rural areas and urban areas, right now there's too much focus on work integration, that social entrepreneurship is something you do to someone to reintegrate that person into the normal market. I don't think really we need social entrepreneurs to do that so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure.